Hello everyone, myself Nikhil Kumar, currently studying King George's Medical University, a third year MBBS student. Today in this video we are going to talk about how to study the hard subject like PSM, medicine, obs, gynae and pediatrics. So without further ado, let's get started. A few days back, I got a call from my friend. He started saying I got beaten by this girl and I don't know what to do. Due to the COVID, so I don't know if I should see a doctor or not. Tell me what to do. This was very strange situation for me as a third year MBBS student. You can ask me about the management of normal fever, cold, or even COVID, but a squirrel bite was something new to me. Now this is something which is not taught anywhere in the pharma or patho or even in medicine. But PSM does teach us about animal bite, and I realized it few days back. I used to curse this subject a lot, but trust me, it teaches the basic things which are not taught anywhere. Mass treatment, prevention, control, immunization. These are literally the question almost every doctor is asked to. And imagine you know everything about hepatitis or EKD or squamous cell carcinoma and you hardly know anything about a squirrel bite. This would be embarrassing. Even in the COVID-19, the concept of isolation and quarantine, subsequent waves, everything is a part of PSM.
Ever wonder what to do when you are having a hard time in a subject? Or why you excel in certain subject but struggle with other? Are you currently going through the same thing? When we struggle with a topic, we think the best way to study is to focus as hard as we can on every detail of the subject. But if you don't look at the whole picture to get a full grasp of the topic, it will be incredibly difficult. One study method is to take a moment to visualize the chapter and reflect on the broad purpose of the lesson ahead. As you do this, you are putting your brain in the receptive learning mode and giving it a structure to hang new concept on. In neuroscience terms, you are actually beginning to lay the neural pathway in your brain, and this is part of learning how to study better instead of study harder. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Which of these goals are more specific? I will study some subject today, or I will complete 15 pages of this chapter before breakfast. Obviously, your answer will be the latter one, right? Now, question number 2. When you play cricket, do you constantly think about the result of the match, or do you focus on the ball that is being bowled to you? Your answer will be you focus on the ball that is being bowled to you. So similarly, while it is important to have a vision for future, your immediate goal should be specific to the present day. Now this strategy which I am talking about is the implementation intention, which is break down your goal as much as possible, physically write it down and then start crushing your goal. The point of goal isn't to achieve them. The point is who you become when you get them. So from here, now we are going to talk about how we will study the PSM, the subject which is very huge, and the books, the standard books that is Sparks is very huge to read it on one go. So let's break it piece by piece how we will crack our PSM subject in third year. As we all know that PSM is not the only subject in the MBBS life throughout the MBBS which we will be studying of that bulk. So we will try to understand how to read these tough subject, how to read these bulky subject, and we will try to develop kind of a strategy to just understand the subject very well, do the best for the exam and then for the competitive exam. What are the strategy we should be using for these type of subject? Let's talk one by one. Researchers have found that the following technique which I am going to talk about increases the sustainable learning and retention when incorporated in the student daily study habit. These techniques are difficult when you start and it required effort. The effect of these technique will be slow and you will feel like it is not going to help me in long run. But believe me, initially the learning gains seems to be smaller than with some ineffective practices. However, these techniques lead to long-term mastery. Okay, so the technique number one which you have to understand and which you have to just practice is pre-test. So from now on, when you are studying anything, when you are going to start anything, you first need to collect some questions related to it. You should just think of what kind of question you can make from yourself and try to answer that question first by yourself. Okay, even incorrect before learning the content, you know what will it do? It will enhance your future learning. The second one is spaced practice. The idea behind it is simple. Everything which we study for one time, we tend to forget. I have tell you one rule that everything now you are going to study, you will do it by pre-testing yourself. You will have a sort of question for that topic and you start answering the question whether you know it or not, whether you said it correctly or not. Then after this you have to do what key after studying it for the one time, you will create a flashcard for that. Okay, the main problem what we do is we read it for one time and then we forget it and we start again reading after 6 months. We tend to forget each and everything, and it's like reading the same thing but feels like we are reading first time. So to avoid this, we have to use flashcards. What flashcard will do, it will make the revision faster. That way space practice can be also implemented and the forgetting curve will also be prevented. The third thing which you will do now is self-quizzing. When you start reading the topic for the first time, you have a number of questions ready and you will try to solve that question. Whether answer correctly or not doesn't matter. You read it for the first time, you create the flashcard and you will revise from that. But you can do one more thing for your brain to actively is by self-quizzing. What you will do, you will have 2 papers for each and every topic. First one is for revision, which will be by flashcard. The second one will contain the questions of that topic. The questions which you need, you should know. The question you need, you should be aware of and try to discuss it with your friend. Ask the question related to the topic which you feels you should know. Not because it is taught in any online platform, not because it is written in the same way as in book. You have different brain, you have different level of thinking, you see things in different way, your mind need different sequence to understand a particular topic. So for you will set the sequence in which you will understand the topic. After doing this all, you will have things in this sequence. You will have notes which you will made yourself. After making notes, you will have a flashcard for that topic and you will have a number of sets of questions from that topic. The notes which you have made will be the source of revision for you. The flashcard which you have made will be a sort of quick revision for you if you don't have any time, which will be the case in the future. And the third one is question and answer, which you will be using when you are free and when you don't feel like you are confident. You must have that feeling when you are totally blank about that chapter. You are not aware. You just remember the few names from that chapter as a topic and you don't know what is inside that topic. So to quickly test yourself what you know and what you need to know, the question you have prepared, that will going to help you in these times. That will set the sequence in which order you should read. Okay, and after that, one thing I want to add more is you increase the duration of your practice, increase the level of your practice. As you increase the level of your practice, the things will start to become easier for you. For example, remember in childhood when you start learning maths, first of all you start learning addition. Then addition for the first time it felt very tough. It felt very tough. Then you start learning subtraction. Then subtraction felt very tough, but addition feels somewhat easy. Then you start learning multiplication. Then addition and subtraction felt easy, but multiplication was hard at that time. So you are understanding what I am saying, that as you progress to the more difficult difficult side of the subject. As you do more difficult practice, then the things behind it gets easier. So in that way you will be upgrading yourself. Now one small point which you should remember while making note is paraphrasing. It is the most crucial part of your note making. You should make the notes in that way that it can be easily understood by 5-year-old boy. Remember, when you study a chapter, you open the book and you start studying the chapter. You study first line, second line, third line, you study paragraph, then you next jump to next paragraph, and then after reading for few minutes you realize that you don't understand even a bit of concept, even a key point you didn't understand. You miss all the important things. So why did that happen to you? Is because the words which are used are not simple enough. They are complex for you at that time, and you don't know the background knowledge about that. You can't understand it easily until and unless you take some time to understand that tough word, then you understand the concept, and then you try to rephrase it in your own line. It is not the good practice to just mug up the same word which is written in the book. You should rephrase it in your own words. The main priority for reading any subject is to understanding, not to repeat or just replicate in another book. Your notes will be a book which you have created, which you understand. The author of that book is you.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, then please give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do it. Until then, take care of yourself, your family members, and your friend as you always do. Bye bye.